That is the force of one of these space rocks. 10,000 Hiroshima bombs is the power pressed by this piece of genuine home. A mile across, Oumuamua, a baffling substance that once zipped through our nearby planet group and has again sent shock waves throughout the logical community. Elon Musk, a noticeable trendsetter in space innovation, uncovered that Oumuamua is back, and this time it's not the only one on its excursion. Elon Musk claims that its secret qualities contain a tempting clue with respect to life in other star frameworks. This isn't the regular return of a divine element. It's a return that challenges our comprehension of space and its true capacity. Tenants, go along with us as we unwind the suggestions and secrets encompassing Oumuamua's unforeseen return. Back in 1837, a surprising object arrived at an outstanding infinite achievement. It crossed a distance of 1,000 cosmic units from the Sun. For over a century, this item proceeded with its venture, inconspicuous, consistently progressing toward our star. It was only after October 19, 2017, that humanity finally became aware of its presence. On that specific day, a picture caught by the Pan-STARRS 1 telescope at the University of Hawaii uncovered a weak, fragile streak navigating the sky at a consistent speed, covering roughly $6.20 per day. This was a memorable moment. It was the first recorded interstellar guest, officially designated as 1I/2017 U1. This article was additionally given the name Oumuamua, which means a courier from afar, showing up first in Hawaiian. The discovery began a worldwide drive to notice Oumuamua through telescopes. Space experts, including those from the SETI Foundation, anxiously engaged in observing the item, even sending off looks for potential extraterrestrial signals. Oumuamua looked like a ruddy, stoga-shaped object comprised of rock. Its prolonged shape is striking, extending up to 4 m long and quite a bit longer than it is wide. Oumuamua has a perspective proportion that outperforms any space rock or comet saw in our planetary group. Oumuamua was going at a speed of 196,000 miles per hour when it drew near to Earth. That is multiple times quicker than a slug, which implies there's basically no way this article was essential for our planetary group. This time, researchers couldn't at first decide whether Oumuamua was a space rock or a comet. Comets are made out of ice while space rocks are rock. At first, researchers thought it was a comet. However, their grouping changed to considering it a space rock once it dashed past the Sun on September 9, 2017. Anyway, they still looked at it as a space rock until extra estimations demonstrated slight speed increase, which is an indication of it being a comet. A wonderful normal for Oumuamua was its occasional lighting up and diminishing every 7.3 hours. This unique way of behaving demonstrated its pivot around its short hub. Such a revolution design suggested a more unbending and strong creation than the normally delicate, snow-like material of most comets. Appearing dull red, like specific moons in the external planetary group impacted by space radiation, Oumuamua's tone could likewise include iron, as proposed by Dr. Meach, a cosmologist at the University of Hawaii. Notwithstanding these experiences, Oumuamua's starting point and nature remain a mystery. Its direction bewildered researchers, alluding to something beyond regular clarifications. Different hypotheses arose to make sense of Oumuamua's character. While it trusted it to be a rock, others proposed it was made out of gas. Incredibly, a subset of specialists even engaged the likelihood that it could be an extraterrestrial rocket. This raises the charming question: could an extraterrestrial mothership be exploring our solar system and sending more modest tests to investigate planets? In the ensuing fragment of this video, we will dive deeper into these secrets. Yet first, how about we analyze the scope of logical suggestions that have been advanced to interpret the beginning of Oumuamua? Dr. Meach proposed the thought that it could have been flung out from a far-off star following a cosmic explosion blast, or maybe shaped at the point when two items impacted and melded. Agreeing with Elon Musk, stargazers were initially invigorated when they seen that the direction appeared to highlight Vega, the brilliant star in the Lyra star grouping known to have a flotsam and jetsam circle. Estimations showed that this element might have gone from Vega to our area in around 600,000 years. Anyway, the probability of Vega being the genuine source has reduced because of massive changes in its way. It's accepted that Oumuamua experienced another star framework, interestingly taking into account its movement about the sun, which was similar to the speed of neighboring stars. Regardless, there's a plausible assumption in nature that Oumuamua could have been traveling around the universe for billions of years. We're questionable about its forthcoming direction. Envision it like this. Recall how the Voyager shuttle got a boost in speed from Jupiter? Well, Oumuamua is additionally acquiring energy from the sun, impelling it quicker and somewhere new. Dr. Meech explained this space rock, along with its partners, upsets our perspective of the system. Picture this. When you gaze towards stars appearing to be far off and disengaged, it stands out from what these space rocks divulge. They advise us that things are interconnected. The oxygen and particle inside our blood rose up out of a gigantic blast in a far-off spot quite a while in the past. The brilliant things like wedding bands came about because of the crash of superdense stars and those shooting stars falling to Earth. Some of them began from Mars due to space rock influences. Astoundingly, some regarded researchers examined that these shooting stars might have conveyed life from Mars to Earth during a time when Mars appreciated warm and wet circumstances. Life could have started there and then bummed a ride on those shooting stars to Earth. It's a brassy idea, but it's being considered by regarded cosmologists. Our association with the universe can be traced back significantly further in time. Ponder the huge number of years Oumuamua could have taken to show up here. While that could appear extensive, it's just a transient second on the inestimable scale. The Milky Way galaxy brags an age of 10 billion years. Over this monstrous time period, Oumuamua could have traveled through roughly 20,000 star frameworks. A humble portion contrasted with the galaxy's 200 billion stars, but still countless astronomical experiences. Oumuamua would have followed behind residue and trash, permitting the stars and the universes of the world to intermix. This proposes that the universe may be more modest in scope than recently thought. Regardless of whether it's no longer inside our nearby view, the nearby planetary group hasn't relinquished it just yet. Elon Musk and different cosmologists foresee that Oumuamua will enter the Kuiper Belt around 2024 and cross its edge by late 2025. He likewise gauges that it will pass Jupiter's most distant point in 38 years. Anyway, since Oumuamua has been far off for space experts, they are taking advantage of the data assembled in only a couple of months to understand as much as possible about this charming interstellar interloper. Initially confused with a space rock due to its size of around 2,600 feet long and 260 feet in width, Oumuamua showed flighty behavior in its direction. Cosmologists and researchers noticed a striking non-gravitational speed increase, showing that powers beyond gravity were impacting everything in its movement. Dr. Meech made sense of that several elements could lead to this speed increase. Her group researched at least 6 potential causes, disposing of some due to their impossibility or irregularity with perceptions. One likely clarification was comet outgassing, a typical event in comets. Outgassing happens when a comet approaches the sun and its surface ice supplements divert directly from solid to gas. This cycle gives the comet an extra push, modifying its speed and revolution beyond gravitational impact. This adjustment of movement looks like the way of behaving of Oumuamua, lining up with the power seen in comets. Note the absence of a rising dust from Oumuamua was fascinating. Normally, as gas leaves a comet, it conveys surface residue with it. Anyway, Dr. Meech states that regardless of whether the comet needed infinitesimal material, the possible presence of significant dust on its surface could have been influencing its speed. This thought kept the possibility of it being a comet alive. Moreover, researchers essentially analyze noticeable frequencies, which make it challenging to identify critical dust particles. Therefore, no apparent proof of residue leaving Oumuamua was noticed. The shortfall of gas-related signs was additionally astounding. Shockingly, stargazers expected a measurable amount of gas emanation to impact Oumuamua's speed in the way noted. Dr. Meech specifically looked for CN gas, a substance that she notes is brilliant and easily recognizable. It fills in as an intermediary for water, which is more challenging to monitor since CN is frequently let out of comets in our planetary group close to water. Incredibly, in spite of their endeavors, no CN gas was distinguished within their location limits. Taking into account that comets in our solar system can hold huge measures of water, the areas of strength for the breaking point set by the non-attendance of CN gas demonstrated that this comet was chemically remarkable. Dr. Meach makes sense of that. If a significant volume of water were to be produced at the distances they watched, it would straightforwardly uncover the absence of a comet-like appearance. This can prompt engaging theories, including speculations that Oumuamua is indeed an artificial item. It's essential to notice that the general public may initially respond with disbelief, yet specialists have been challenged to make sense of this item without placing any extraordinary hypotheses aside. Amidst these secrets, Oumuamua makes us ponder the extraordinary vastness of the universe. Its methods of behavior could have perplexed scientists. However, as the cosmic tapestry continues to unfurl, it could be that the right resolution waits around the corner.